Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel for the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. That's me, stand-up comedian, and this season, Big Brother hater, Joleen Lunzer, here to roast, recap, and talk about the spoilers of this current season of Baby 27. But first, make sure you smash that like on your way in, hit that subscribe. We are on our way to 48K. So thank you to all of you who have been subscribed, all of you who have just subscribed. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to support the channel further, you know the drill. You can send a super chat while we're live here on YouTube. It's a great way for me to see your comments, or consider joining my YouTube membership or my Patreon. We're definitely go over to my Patreon, even if you're not getting a paid membership, and sign up for the free membership in case anything ever happens here on YouTube and they get rid of old Auntie Joleen. Head over to Patreon and we'll reconvene there. You can go patreon.com/JoleenLunzer. There's a link in the description of this video for that, but that's patreon.com/JoleenLunzer. You can sign up for a paid membership or a free membership just in case anything goes awry. How is everyone doing? Happy Saturday. Thank you, Care Bear, for dropping that. We are going to be talking about everything that's going on as we literally to the dot tomorrow have 1 week left of Big Brother 27. At times it felt like the never-ending story, but we're here and we have some spoilers to talk about. I did do a short edited video in case you saw it or missed it, telling you everything you need to know since Thursday night episode. All right. And then we also have an episode tomorrow night that will be airing at 10 p.m. Eastern, which is late for you Eastern people, but I can watch it at 7 p.m. That means yes. Okay. So smash that like, sound off in the live chat. I want to know all your hopes, thoughts, dreams, and opinions about this season of Big Brother as we wind it down. All right. When I last saw you, we came out of a double eviction that saw Kelly and Lauren leave the game. So that trio of Ava, Kelly, and Lauren broken up. All right. Morgan got her wish, just as Lauren told her to do. If you want me out of this house, Lauren, you're going to have to, or Morgan, you're going to have to win HOH and take me out. And that's exactly what Morgan did. Now, going into the HOH for this week, which is supposed to be a shortened week. So any minute now, the person, they could be, shutting down the feeds to evict the next person. But here's what happened. So after we got off live here, Big Brother decided they were going to do a live HOH competition, an endurance pressure cooker type HOH that saw the house guests in the have-not room that they cleared out and made into Kelly's secret Wicca room, okay? Where they stood on what appeared to be a pentagon. I don't know, okay? With candles. It was great. I liked the look of it. Spooky season. I love it, okay? As a fan of all things witchy poo and the movie The Craft, Halloween, spooky season, all the things, I loved it. So obviously only Ava, Ashley, Keanu, and Vince could play because Morgan is the outgoing HOH. So she watched downstairs on the couch. She watched on the TV monitors, or the one TV monitor. And they had to hold a sword up, okay? And whoever could hold it up the longest without letting it slip and fall off, I think a little button or something very similar to the Janky World competition we saw last season where Leah won. All right. But right off the bat, Big Brother, Big Brothered. You guys, instead of having this competition, which has been a pretty equitable competition they've had in quite a few seasons of Big Brother, they decided to add weight to the swords. And you might be thinking, well, Joleen, that's not a big deal because they do that in games of Survivor. They do that, in Big Brother. And what they do is they just kind of balance it out by each house guest's weight, so make it proportionate, nothing, too heavy. They didn't do that.
It's inappropriate.
Apparently they just were like, we're just going to make this shit heavy. And it appeared from the looks of it that this was, similar to the ropes, BB Butt Blaster. They want Keanu to win this. So this looked like it was Keanu's competition to win. So right away, Ava and Ashley struggled to even lift the sword because it was so heavy. So Ava's out right away. She was like, oh my God, that shit hurt. My God, bro. You know, she had to go. Ashley hung on longer until finally she too dropped. And then it was just Vince and Keanu left in the competition. And let me see if I can pull up, if I still have the screenshot of it here. And so they were, you know, talking. Keanu was so excited to get a moment to bro out with Vince because Keanu really wants to believe that Vince is like a bro, that Vince is in this game for him, and he never has been. And despite multiple people telling Keanu this, unfortunately, this week, he had to find out the extremely hard way. I mean, he knows that's why he's put up, you know, when he was HOH, he put up Vince to kind of teach him a lesson, but yet still all these, you know, months, weeks later into final 5, Keanu still thinks he can trust Vinny the Weasel. He still thinks that Vinny is playing the game or going to play the game with him. That certainly one day Vince will wake up and realize we're just 2 dudes. We're 2 dudes standing side by side. Come on, bro. We're in a house that estrogen built. Let's go. And Vince is like, nah, I like Morgan. So Keanu and Vince, as you can see, this is still when Ashley was in the game. They're there. Take Ashley away after she dropped her sword. And they're just, Keanu was like, bro, dude, I'm so glad we can get some bro time. Just testosterone out. Just like nutsacks out for the girls. No, the boys, okay? And Vince is like, yeah, that's fun. I'm Vinny, you know? And Keanu's like, if I knew it was going to be this easy, I would have done this a long time ago. Okay. He really wanted private time with Vince because Vince has been, you know, very preoccupied with his final 2 cheat mans with Morgan. And so they're talking, they're laughing. They're like, this is easy. Keanu's got one hand. They both decide to go on 1 foot. By this time, we're like 30 minutes into the endurance comp. And they're talking and they're like, God, you know, Keanu brings up, you know what really dude this thing out would be the dudiest thing that ever duded is if they played the movie Dodgeball, bro. And Vinny's like, yeah, I think I've seen that movie. I don't know. I'm nervous. I got to check to see if Morgan saw it first. Okay. And he's like, if they had that up there, Keanu said, I could be here all night. And Vinny's like, yeah, me too. Yeah. So they're just talking about how crazy it is that they've been basically the only 2 dudes in the game for weeks now. And then Keanu, as he's talking, getting really comfy, cocky, if you will. That's one thing that, you know, Keanu's downfall is his horrible social game and wanting to believe the men and not the women. Okay. Just really wanting to bro out in a bromance and a bro alliance when he could have went farther with women in this game. Mainly Rachel. Not that I'm still bringing it up, but I am. Okay. And Vinny's just like, and all of a sudden, as Keanu's in the middle of a sentence, he goes, oh shit. He drops the sword because that's what happens when you're just a little too cocky and you're still trying to work with the mustache devil. So Vinny wins HOH. All that to say, Vinny won HOH. Thank you, Mac, for the first super chat of the live. I so loved your video. Thank you, Mac. I appreciate that. If you guys check it out, give it a thumbs up. Do one of those hypey things if they have that option here on this live. I don't know what it does on YouTube, but just hit the hype and hype it up. It's a free way to support the channel. Okay. We're at the end. We're just playing. We're playing with voices and things now. So Vinny's HOH. He's like, I'm HOH. Morgan obviously thrilled. Keanu still, despite losing to Vinny, he had just enough bro time Just enough time to be like, dudes, 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 with Vinny to think, okay, Vinny, you're not gonna put me up, right? Vinny still finds it necessary to lie to Keanu. Just these unnecessary lies. Keanu already thinks, as well as the rest of the house, that Vinny's HOHs have been run by Morgan, and they're not wrong. All right. But Vinny is not helping that narrative by kind of being like, well, I'm not necessarily, but yeah, Morgan doesn't want me to do that. Oh, whatever Morgan wants, like Kelly said, Morgan gets. So Keanu's like, well, you're not gonna put me up, right? Because we're bros. We broed out. We had like a minute where we talked to each other, right? Like, you're finally gonna pick the penis, right? And Vinny's like, yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. I just blew up my whole game for Morgan, so I doubt, in my whole life, I doubt I'm gonna pick you now. So then we go into the nomination ceremony, which we'll see tomorrow. Vinny nominates Ava and Keanu. Also, you guys, note the length of Vinny's HOH letter, which was from his dad. The shortest HOH letter we might have ever seen in the history of Big Brother. We have a Dear Vinny. I think they wrote, Dear Cheater Vinny, who can no longer live in our basement, comma, no. Dear Vinny, and then a sentence, a shorter sentence, a little bit longer sentence, one shorter sentence, and salutations. So 1, 2, 3, 4 sentences, double fucking spaced. Oh, that would tell me everything I needed to know about how I was doing in the game. But according to Vince, his dad is a man of few words. So it probably worked out just perfectly that let's just let dad write this because he already barely talks to Vinny, because Vinny has already told us like his dad, doesn't really talk much. So he's like, then, obviously Kelsey, she's gone, allegedly. She's donezo after seeing the cheat mance, the blatant emotional, touchy-feely cheat mance that's going on between Vince and Morgan. What do you got, buddy? Oh, just your toy. And so he's got his dad's letter. He has his nominations, Ava and Keanu, because we're done with the BB butt blaster like Julie told us on Thursday, okay? Which then takes us into the POV. So the same day, yesterday, the night before, we had our HOH competition. Then Friday, which is normally just noms, we had noms and POV, since we are in the final stretches. All right. The POV was Tiny Veto. It was the little tiny veto competition, the stacking competition. And lo and behold, I know, shocker, you guys, Morgan wins. And Morgan obviously did not use the veto, had no plans to use the veto. Because then the renom would be Ashley. And we know that Morgan, Vince, and Ashley want to be judges strong at the final 3. However, Morgan and Vince really want to do, they want to do final 2 together.
I don't have any votes now.
Which is crazy. I think Vinny thinks after stabbing so many people in the back and lying, you can lie in Big Brother, you can do all the things, but Vinny continues to lie when it's not necessary and stressing his quote unquote allies, fake allies, out more than necessary. So unnecessary lying is going to get you in trouble. Plus just shit jury management. Plus not owning your moves at this stage in the game is only going to, further just confirm what players are already thinking, that Morgan is running the show. So Keanu did try. He again, Vinny, bro, okay, maybe you didn't mean that to put me up straight up. Maybe you just want to give me a chance to win the veto. That's cool. Okay, Morgan won it. Maybe she could use it, take me off, huh? And Vinny's like, I don't think that's gonna happen. So yeah, you're next to Ava, so that's probably what's gonna happen. And no, No one's going to keep you over Ava. Keanu goes to Ashley to try to campaign to her, to keep her, or to keep him, I should say. And Ashley's like, no, we're not. Sorry, buddy. Ashley actually is honest with Keanu, telling him that's not a good play for me. And so I am not going to be able to do that, to vote and make Vinny, well, no, it would just be, so if Ashley votes, so Ashley would be the deciding vote. And at this point, it would have been a good game move for Ashley had she ever had confirmation from Keanu that he was really working with her. The way they make it look on the episodes and stuff is that they like teamed up. I watched BB Unlocked and heard Daddy Derek say, yeah, Keanu has been influencing Ashley. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? That is actually not true. Keanu has been infuriating Ashley, but not influencing Ashley in any way. If you watch the feeds, Ashley's just like, get me out of here. I cannot talk to this man anymore. Everything I tell him, he runs back and tells Vince when I'm trying to work with him. And then I tell him, like, I know what's going on in this game, but he still tries to explain it to me like I don't know what's going on, and talks over me and talks down to me. And so, no. Ashley just trying to give Keanu a little information about what's going on in the game. Like, are we really working together? And he immediately runs back to frickin' Vince and tells him. And then it gets back to Ashley. And Ashley's like, why would you do that? Are we working together or not? Because Ashley and Keanu, it would have been so great at Endgame to have Ashley and Keanu actually work together to take out Morgan and Vince. But Keanu still wants to fucking work with Vince. And I'm just like, sir, learn a lesson when you leave here. I don't know. You have some kind of bias where you just want to trust the dudes. I don't know what it is. It's your thing. But in this game, it didn't work for you. It seemed like you were unable to pivot to the women or ever trust them. Instead, after Vince proved to you, showed you, had a pattern of stabbing you in the back, you still were like, I'm going to give him another chance. It's like a really unhealthy, toxic relationship. It's like now we have not only the love triangle of Lauren and Morgan and Vince, but you make it a square and you add Keanu. What does Vince have? Did he juggle for you? I mean, I don't understand why he would do that. Why, after everything Vince has shown you and told you, and all the times he's been like, and a crybaby whiner, and all the times Keanu had to have these conversations with him, telling him to man up. Come on, make a decision, bro. Come on, let's do this. And yet he's like, I don't know. And then lied straight to your face time after time. Okay, Cyndi Lauper. And you're still trying to work with him. What is your childhood trauma? Like, what is going on here? Thank you, Gail Murphy Comedy, for the super chat. Gail says, take a drink anytime Vince touches his mustache. We would all be dead from alcohol poisoning. Okay. Yes, Goldie says, toxic tiny Vinny. It's just crazy because Keanu could have made some moves, and it would have been so great to see, after all the times Vince has burned Keanu, to see Keanu team up and get his ass. Get his ass. Because Ashley would have been on board. That's why Ashley was on board in the push to get Lauren out over Kelly, because she wanted to weaken Vince. So of course she would have wanted to get rid of him and also break up a showmance in the game. Like, Keanu, I know you win comps, God bless. Okay. But again, Ashley told you it is damn near impossible to just have to win your way to the end. The social game is so important, and the social reads and the relationships you make and who you trust is so It's pivotal in this game. All right. And you don't have it. And it's frustrating to see you talk like you have it and you don't. How do you not know, as a big ass dude who prides himself playing chess, being a gamer himself, being a dungeon master, how do you not know that you can't come between a showmance? I say this every season. If there's a showmance in the house, break it the fudge up. Okay? Because there is a bond that they have now created that is something you can't get past. When the genitals are involved, whether Morgan and Vince have actually do, okay? There still is this emotional cuddling, touching, hugging for long periods of time. They got to go because they are less likely to betray one another now that there are feelings involved. And Keanu knows better than anyone else, being like, I thought this was Big Brother, not Cheater Island, that this is more than a friendship. It's crossed the line. It's inappropriate.
It's inappropriate.
And yet he still wants to play with Vinny. This is Keanu's karma. This is his bad gameplay wrapped up. This is exactly what we've been saying about Keanu. This is exactly our frustrations with Keanu. I wanted nothing more than for Keanu to wake up. Nothing more for Keanu, even before that, to wake up and believe Rachel. But he wouldn't. And then once Rachel's gone, I thought, maybe. Still no. So everything that's going to happen to Keanu, unless Big Brother decides to throw in a twist to save him, which at a week left, I don't see that happening, but who knows? Expect the unexpected and the unfair, I guess, like we saw with the White Locust. It's just, it's unfortunate, but it's something that we saw coming for a long time. And Keanu is lucky that he was able to win that many competitions because his social game is garbage. Garbage, garbage, garbage. The pull Vinny had on him is embarrassing. Like, I'm embarrassed for Keanu. He's better than that. And the only explanation is he just wanted to work with dudes. But guess what? Not all the dudes wanted to work with you. You did the same thing with Riley. He thought, well, I can, but I'm his number one before Kat. And Rachel told you, no, you're not. I was in a showmance. No one comes before me and my man. No one comes in between me and my man. And you still thought, I mean, you've been a man on this earth for how many years? And you really think a romantic, Riley telling Catherine every day how much he loved her in the creepiest way possible, stalking her, putting her in a, hostage manse. You thought that he was going to drop Catherine for you? Oh my God.
No.
I'm beyond frustrated with Keanu, but whatever. We're at the end. But this is exactly what this is now. What a lot of people are saying is very poetic for Vince to take Keanu out, because maybe now Keanu will see that Vince was never for him. And maybe now Vince will see how important jury management is and how important it is not to unnecessarily lie in this game when you don't have to. But I don't know. What do I know? Michelle Corley, thank you for the super chat. So glad to hear truth. You are so welcome. Kenzie Gray, good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. Take a drink every time Vinny cries. Then I'm dead. Okay. Then I am not sober anymore. And I'm back to being an alcoholic. So it's just like, it's horrible because it just, you look at, the people left in the house minus Ava are actual like power players. You got Keanu, you got Ashley, you got Vince, you got Morgan. You could have two sides of the house now going after each other, two pairs where you have Ashley being like, well, because Ashley's not dumb. She knows she can't win next to Morgan, and so she was willing to start working with Keanu. Let's take Vince out. Let's see what happens. And yet, here we are. And I think the sooner we just realize that Keanu will go on the challenge and he'll be just fine. But Big Brother wasn't the game for him. As much as there were times where Keanu was very entertaining, I'm not going to take that from him. And I would have loved to watch the Frenemies Alliance up until the end to see which one turned on who. I think we just all have to admit that Keanu was bad. He had such a horrible social game that this is why we're here right now. As much as people might love him, this is just bad Big Brother. How can Vince, okay, little itty bitty Vinny, the crybaby, how did he fool you for this long, sir? It just will never make sense to me. Thank you, Christopher Taylor, for the super chat. Christopher said, so I heard CBS is scrambling to come up with plans for next season due to Rachel's debacle and ratings plummets. Wouldn't surprise me, Christopher. We will see. Now, last night, after, the POV results, after Keanu kind of saw the writing on the wall, he was talking to Vince, playing pool, and they had like a breakup, even though, Vince has been ghosting him for a while, and Keanu was just like, bro, I can't believe this. And Vinny's like, yeah, well, you did good. At least we got to play together. And Keanu's like, I don't think we ever played together. We lived in the same house. And Vinny's like, well, it was fun living in the same house. Yeah, I only have any votes now. And it was in these moments of talking to Vince and just seeing how much he didn't give a shit about Keanu's life in this game. And how he was never loyal to him, never cared, always was willing to throw him aside, always willing to talk shit on him. I think Keanu started to realize, like, whoa, all my allies I've had in this game have all stabbed me in the back. Bro, like, all of this was like, bro, like, crazy that all my allies I tried to work with stabbed me in the back and lied to me. The only one who didn't lie to me was Rachel. Yep. And he's like, the one thing he regrets in this game, Keanu says, is trying to backdoor Rachel with Vince. I don't understand why Keanu didn't understand. Keanu could have had one side of the house that Rachel didn't have. Rachel has the other side of the house, and they meet in the middle for this frenemies final two, this frenemies alliance where they share information only with each other and we're loyal to each other. But Keanu refused. And I can't wait to hear his post-game interviews about this. I can't wait to hear his reasoning for why he just couldn't let that happen and how he feels now watching everyone that Rachel said would betray him. Why he never believed her when she said, Riley's not for you. He's talking shit. Sure enough, that's the truth. Lauren's not for you. She will get you out. That's my girl, Lauren, bro. She got you out. Vince is not for you. Yes, he is. Vinny, yeah, I'll be good. And then it's not. I can't wait. Hopefully he actually has time. I don't know if he will, maybe in the jury he'll have time to think about this, but hopefully he has time, definitely having some time outside of the game to watch back and see that the next game he goes on, because this will not be the end for Keanu. Keanu was very popular. Casuals especially love Keanu. And obviously, competition-wise, very good at the comps. The guy is a thickum. He's muscular, yet he's flexible. He can do all kinds of shit, He's very, I think he's very like upfront and honest in ways about his gameplay. So I think, he's going to be on the challenge. There'll be other opportunities for Keanu, but hopefully he takes this information and in the future, if there's a lady that wants to work with you, consider it. Okay. Just because they're your gender doesn't mean they're necessarily, on your team. Sometimes, maybe you could work with a gal. Keanu, coming from 5 sisters, I would have thought he would have been more open to it. I really would have. But for some reason, he really wanted to bro down. Okay. And some could say, the patriarchy, but here we are. Michael Murphy, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that so much. Thank you for your generosity. And Kelly Cal, thank you for the super chat. Morgan has BDE, big dick energy. Vince and Keanu are giving LDE, little dick energy.
It's inappropriate.
Thank you, Kelly Cal. Morgan does got that big dick energy. Morgan's got that big clit energy. Morgan's got the big ovary energy. Morgan's like, let's go. Okay. Morgan's got that big ovary energy. Morgan's got that. And right now, with Morgan winning another veto and an HOH under her belt, so she got 4 vetoes, an HOH, ran Vinny's HOHs if you want to count those. If she ends up in the final 2 chairs, I don't know how anyone else could beat her. Granted, we still have a week left. We'll see what happens. But I just don't know. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. Cammie, thank you so much for being a member for 17 months. When do you think the next mastermind twist will be? Well, that could be any time now because Keanu is sitting in the house on the block as the target. And apparently they thought that they were going to, tape his eviction last night, like right away. But they're still there tonight. They're still on the feeds. They're having drinks. They're having little cocky tails, reminiscing. Last night, Keanu was helping Ashley and Ava study because he doesn't want to give the win to Vince. And he also doesn't want Morgan to win because I feel like he feels similar to how Morgan felt about Lauren. Keanu's ego won't let him, not go down. He won't go down without trying to put some salt on Morgan's game. So there's some speculation I saw on Twitter, people thinking that Big Brother is scrambling and gambling, trying to find a way to save Keanu with a twist. Because it was pretty clear once they added the weights to the swords that in this HOH, they wanted Keanu to win. And I don't blame them for that. I mean, is it fair? No. Would I have loved a twist to save Rachel? Yeah. Would I have loved her to not go out on an elimination and get a true eviction? 100%. But I think they see that Keanu is very popular and they don't want to get rid of him. But unfortunately, I mean, how many chances can you give the guy? He's very lucky he had the BB butt blaster or he would have been backdoored a long time ago. And that's just the facts of Keanu's game. Without a third competition, Keanu would not be in this game this long with that horrendous of a social game. That's just how it is. And I wanted for him to be able to find that social game, to trust what some of the people were telling him about the guys he was trying to work with, but it just never happened for him. He just kept going down the same hole. He kept doing the same thing, expecting a different result. And I'm like, okay, but he burned you, and then he burned you again, and he's going to keep burning you and lying to you. Morgan is literally in the HOH room with Vince 24/7. She's running his shit. Why would you be able to change that if you haven't been able to change it yet, Keanu? That's the one thing that I don't understand.
That's my opinion!
Why he thought, yeah, I know they're up there, they're rubbing, hugging. Vinny most likely, seemingly, allegedly, we'll say allegedly because everything I say is true except for the parts that are false. Everything is alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Allegedly, he blew up his real life relationship of 7 years with his girlfriend, Kelsey, for Morgan. And they keep making these little comments on the live feeds, talking in code about their options. And if they were talking about options in the game, they would just be more clear about it when it's just the two of them. That's how they've always been. But they have these other options that if you listen to them on the feed, you're like, oh, they're most likely talking about the option to be together after the game.
Allegedly.
Like, does he go the way of his current girlfriend? Which I think is too late, sir. She unfollowed you, and I hope she's burning your things right now. Amen. All right?
Allegedly.
Or does he go the way to date Morgan? Now, do I think Morgan's going to stay with Vince? No.
Oh my God.
No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. And Vince is worried about that too. He's worried about his life outside of the house because he's like, I'm scared, Morgan, you're going to be so popular and everyone's going to like you and no one's going to like me and you're just going to leave me behind.
I don't have any votes now.
I don't have any votes now and I don't have any Morgan now. And she's like, don't worry about it. But that's exactly what's going to happen. When Morgan wins this game, and leaves with a bunch of comps, more comps than him under her belt as a winner, she's not going to talk to him anymore, right?
Bruh.
I just don't see it. I don't see it. This is a big brother cheap man's of convenience and gameplay. So, way to go, Vinny. You fucked up your whole life for what? All that work, and what did it get you? Why did I do it? Thank you, Arno Stu, for the super chat. Maybe if there was a book of Rachel in that Bible, he would have heeded the advice. Probably. If it was like Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Rachel, maybe he would have been like, I don't remember this book. That's weird. There's a Rachel book of the Bible. Well, let me give it a shot. Okay. And on the seventh day, Rachel says, do not trust the bro-hos, or you will go down as a 0 in this game-o. Oh, that's fun. Sounds a little Dr. Seussy more than the Bible-y, but there you are. It's just unfortunate because Vince is just a loser. I don't care. The dude is a loser. A boozer, a user, and a loser, in the words of Jerry Blank. Okay? And Keanu could have easily gotten farther in this game had he just had dropped the ego and was open to the ideas of the ladies. One lady in particular, Rachel Riley. And in the end, maybe Ashley. But instead, he knew everything. And going into a game like this, thinking you know everything when you've never played before, very dangerous. Very worried more about thinking you're right and being perceived as right than actually being right is not good. It's not good. So
I feel so lost right now.
Had Keanu had a little more vulnerability, been a little more, eating a little of the humble pie about it, and been like, okay, I kick ass at the comps. I can save myself with comps, but I got to figure out what I need to do. What can I utilize? Who can I work with that's actually working with me to utilize this social game aspect, But Vinny, he's a loser. And it sucks that, Lauren did the same thing. Lauren wasted her whole game on Vinny, never once pivoting, never once changing, despite being shown time after time that Vinny wasn't for her, that Vinny was, in fact, a loser and a liar and a crybaby whiner who was the victim of his own decisions, of his own actions.
I don't have any phones now.
And that's, and Vince is like, watch him on the feeds. He's like the laziest dude in the house. Morgan's like cleaning through the fridge. And she's like, they treat Vinny like he's a baby. And like Rachel said in the segment on BB Unlocked, what does Vince have that he has all these ladies and Keanu like kissing his ass? And Will's like, he's the Mac Daddy of the season. Will taking it back to the, 1999 lingo. I like it, Will, because I can relate, having been a teenager then. Hell yeah. He's like, he's the Mac Daddy. And Rachel's like, how is he the Mac Daddy? He's nobody's daddy. Okay? But I think it's that like wimpy, poor me. Like James Gunn said, like that little hipster. My feet can't touch off the bed guy. That somehow they want to take care of him. They want to breastfeed him. I don't know. When Morgan asks why Vince has to like feed Lauren and burp her, and I'm like, why do you guys want to breastfeed this man through the whole game? Keanu included. Lauren, Morgan, Keanu. Morgan's literally cleaning the fridge today. And she's like, oh, there's some meat in there. And it's, the meat juice leaked around. And he's like, well, I could help. And she's like, oh, no, you couldn't. It's pretty gross. And he looks over there and he's like, whoa, that is really gross. And I'm like, this man is 35. Go clean up the meat juice, Vince. Go clean up the meat juice with your mustache. Whatever you got to do. He can't boil water. I mean, he can't feed himself. He doesn't clean up after himself. The only thing he does is fold his undies and his beanies 100 times each. That's all he does. Like, Morgan is just, she does everything. cleaning, cooking, organizing. And he just stands there like a staring at her. What are you doing now? And I'm like, oh my God, bro. Ugh. Yeah, that's true. That was very ableist of me. I apologize. He couldn't reach the meat juice. So it's like, Keanu, look back. Lauren, look back. This is the loser you followed. I need that sound effect from Dr. Phil. Like, this is your man. Yeah, that's him. That's your man right there. Uh-huh. I love him. I love him. You're like, oh God. I can't. Changes his diaper. All the things. Red like me. It's like you read my mind. The weaponized incompetence. Thank you for being a member for a month too. Of Vinny the dork. And he's like, I can't do it. You could have learned. He could have learned so many things, but he just has other people doing shit for him while he cries. And the fact that he's surprised that he's called a crybaby by Zingbot, like, you are the biggest crybaby in the world. Yeah, Debbie, Morgan's his mommy. Morgan's his mommy who's telling him how to run his HOH and getting the things she wants while running away with the $750,000. And she deserves it for playing this guy who tried to play everyone else with his crybaby, whiny, weaponized incompetence, freaking BS. So I'm glad someone in the game is playing him. As difficult as it's been to watch Morgan and Vince in the HOH room, it's been like, oh my God, give me therapy. God, we all need inpatient after watching them for this many months. It's like, especially these past couple weeks, I'm like, oh my God. These two were driving me to the loony bin, comedy club, obviously. Find a loony bin near you. But for real, she's got to be over it. But not enough that she's not going to keep doing it because it's working for her in the game. It didn't work for Lauren, and it didn't work for Keanu, but it's working for Morgan. So, yep. Jillian, I'm so sorry because I know Keanu has a lot of fans and I feel for you guys because as, a Rachel fan losing Rachel, I really feel for you guys having to lose Keanu. And yeah, and I would have loved nothing more than to see Keanu and Rachel just freaking dominate till the end. He brings information from his side. She brings information from her side. They have their little fights and quarrels there. Like, you're obsessed with me. And then she throws the gloves on the ground. He's like, what? With his like breathe right strip. Like, it was so entertaining. It was frustrating to watch him though, like never believe her, but their little fights, there were times it was entertaining, but I think once he tried to backdoor her and that information came to Rachel, she knew she could never trust him the same way again, despite him trying to win back her trust. It was just like, whoa, you were willing to, sacrifice me in the game. You didn't give a shit about my life, similar to how Vinny doesn't give a shit about Keanu's life. And then after that was the end. That was the end. But it would have been great. But yeah, I think so. Unless Big Brother throws in some kind of twist, which some people, again, are wondering if that's why, we haven't seen him leave the house yet, why they haven't taped their little eviction, I don't know. But I'm not sure. I don't really know. They keep with the schedule and with, 5 people left, 1 week exactly as of tomorrow. I think there's is there a live thing on Wednesday? I'm confused with the moving around of the schedules, but I know Julie told us something. So, but the house guests were really like, oh, we thought whoever, after Veto and all that, it was a done deal and that person was going to be gone. But so far, he's not gone. So maybe, yeah, Leslie, maybe they're just giving him another night because, again, they have some wine. They're drinking a little bit. Or they're trying to find a way to save him. Mark says, watch Keanu get a Caitlin Herman come and be back in the game. Would you guys be pissed? Would you be pissed? Let me know in the chat. Or when you're watching on the replay crew. Hi, replay crew. Let me know if you'd be pissed if Keanu got like a Caitlin Herman BB20 puzzle of himself, 4-piece, possibly 5, to get back in the game. Even though Julie said the BB butt blaster was gone, but the mastermind could come back and be like, "It's the month of mayhem." Nah. Goldie said, "I would love it." Leslie said, "I would be pissed." I think at this point, I don't even know how I'd feel. I mean, it would suck because I'd be like, he had so many chances. There were so many comps that seemed like they were perfect for him that he could have won. One being the last BB butt blaster that Lauren won. I was shocked that Keanu didn't have a better strategy. He's always been so cool, calm, and collected in his competitions when it comes to, BB butt blaster and stuff, and took his time and was able to do it. I was shocked that he didn't have a better strategy going into that than just like dropping it high, that he didn't realize like leaning down. Because the guy, like I said, he's a thickum and he's got the muscles, but he's also very like, he can move, very flexible. He could do a floor routine in the Olympics. Like he's got some bounce to the ounce. And yet he didn't lean over more to like drop the ball with his long arms in there. But Lauren could figure it out. That's where I was like, what is going on? So, Pomegranate, use your arm length. I was shocked. And then this last HOH was just, it was made for him. And yet he was just so excited to hang out with Vinny the Dork. I'm like, Keanu, you realize you're leaps and bounds better than Vinny the Dork, right? Like, you don't have to simp to him. Well, I don't understand why Keanu thinks he has to simp to Vinny the Dork. I'll never understand it. Debbie said it seems like he stopped thinking. So his ego told him he was safe. Arno could, yep. Christy said, I'd be mad because of the way he lost this HOH. It was such a dumb way to lose the HOH. He's like, I'm just going to do one hand, talk about dodgeball. I'm so happy, bro, to be hanging out with you, Vinny. Yeah, bros. And Vinny's just counting the seconds until he can go back to Morgan and be near her, smell her, hug her, get rubbed by her, rub her, beg her to sleep face to face in the HOH bed with him while they still have it. He doesn't care about you. Oh my God. Just very, very cuckoo times. Bismo says watching the feeds right now is like trying to watch them when there was only 2 left in the house. Yeah. Well, tonight, are they going to get a little surly with the wine? I know Ava was feeling it. Jess Johnson says the whole not even using 2 hands thing. Right, come on. In HOH and Blockbuster, at the end, Keanu, you need this. You need every win you can get. Or I thought you did, that you needed to win. That you're just going to have to win your way to the end. And that's like when everyone was mad at Ashley for saying that. Well, there was truth to that. Like, if you're going to, if you want to get to the end, you're probably going to have to win your way. It's a really hard way to do it. Probably should establish some kind of trust and relationships and believe the right people, but you didn't. I love a thickum. I started saying that when I started watching football with my husband. Certain like lines, I'm like, ooh, there's all the thickums when they're out. I'm like, that's a thickum right there. So, Iridescent Dragon says Vinny looks like he's sitting in the big blue chair in that picture. Oh my gosh. They did sleep all day today. Yesterday was definitely better feeds. Today, not great. Not great. There was some cleaning. Well, Vinny watching Morgan clean. The dude does nothing. He just sits there. He does nothing in this house but flat iron his hair, cry, and follow Morgan around. Like he does nothing else. I'm just like, dude. Clean something, do something, make something. Luare, I'm the same way. I'm shocked that Keanu lost sight of $750,000. I'm so interested to see his postseason interviews, like when the season's over, and he kind of is able to look back at his gameplay. I feel like Keanu is going to be able, I hope, maybe it's just me wishful thinking, is going to be able to see the error of his ways. Like, he's gonna be like, fuck, what was I doing trying to work with all these loser dudes who were like trying to play Love Island? You know, that's the frustrating part. Like, these all, like, Vince and Riley suck. And that's who you're trying to play with? Who literally were blowing up their lives and showing their true colors. Vinny being a cheater and Riley being a psycho. And that's who you prioritized over a real alliance you had with a woman. I know she's a woman. Yeah, it's like, well, if, you know, Keanu thinks Vince is playing Cheating Island, well, bro, you're playing Bro Island, okay?
Bruh.
Just like Red Like Me said, you're playing Bro Island. Leslie says, Keanu always told on people, even his allies. He should have been gone along. Yeah, and the thing is, like, they want to talk. Him and Vince talk like Ashley's such a big mouth. She's a blabbermouth. She's so annoying. Neither of you could keep your mouth shut. At times when Keanu should not have run information back to Vince, who burned him so many times, he kept doing it up until like a few days ago. Are you crazy, sir? What's wrong with you? You really, I know that him and Ashley, they never got along, but she was willing to put things aside. They got to work together. Ashley's a lawyer. You think she doesn't work with problematic people, let alone problematic men? Oh, hell to the yes, she does. But for the greater good of them possibly winning the money for themselves, they could have worked together. But even if she would have tried, he would have just ran to Vince anyways and fucked it all up. And that's the frustrating part. I'm like, dude, wake up. So even if they would have worked together, somehow got Morgan out, it wouldn't benefit Ashley because he would have just ended up, you know, being chill with Vince and wanting to work with Vince still because he's a bro. And then Vince would have ended up stabbing him in the back to take Ava to final two. I mean, I think that's how I see it. But I don't know. Spark says Morgan's always playing the game hard against others, saying it's just a game. But I would be worried about her meltdown if she lost at this point. That's interesting. If there was ever a time where Vinny was actually going to turn on her, that would be a really hard thing, a really hard pill for Morgan to swallow. I don't think it's going to happen because, again, I think Vince is banking on taking Morgan to final two and having that be the thing that proves that he isn't disloyal. It's just that he was always loyal to Morgan. And then later in the game, the judges. So they stayed judges strong if they're able to go Ashley to final three. And then Ashley isn't able to win, you know, then Vince and Morgan can go to the end with each other. And then Vinny can argue like, I did this, you know, I had to betray people that were my allies because my true allies were Morgan and the judges, this, you know, freaking alliance. But I still don't, that's not going to be enough. If he's sitting next to Morgan, that's not going to be enough. Because again, all of the things he did, which were unnecessary, the ways in which he lied to his fake allies, to people who wanted to play with him and did help him in the game, to the last moment, these unnecessary lies. I just don't think anyone respects that kind of gameplay. Keanu said on the feeds he doesn't respect that kind of gameplay. You know? So Rachel's not going to vote for it if he's against Morgan. Will's not going to vote for it if he's against Morgan. Ashley's not going to vote for it if he's against Morgan. Kelly and Lauren are long gone. They're voting for Morgan. So Vince is playing for second, and he might know he's playing for second, and he might have now another scenario is he might have, in addition to maybe him thinking he could show the public and the jury that he is loyal to somebody, and you could make the argument you only need to be loyal to one person in this game. In addition to that, he might also be like, I'm okay with second place because me and this girl are getting married, and get on his knees like Swaggy and propose. And Morgan's going to be like, yeah.
I'm not quite sure why I'm here or what I'm doing, but there's a reason.
And the reason is not to get married to you. So I don't know. Vince is he's a dummy dum too, but he had so many people following in his cult of Vince, despite being a dummy dum. Ainsley, thank you so much for showing up. And thank you for the super chat. Beating myself up about my improv show tonight. Thanks for the much needed laughs. Never beat yourself up for your improv show. You made the decisions you made. You trusted your instincts. Hopefully you had fun. That's what someone told me a long time ago with comedy. Did you have fun? Then it's not a failure. Okay. And you just learn from those mistakes and you move on. And a lot of times in comedy, whether it's improv or stand-up, you learn the most when you fail. If you just always do well, you're not really going to learn shit. You know, but the times that you actually fail and do bad, those are the times that can make you even better because it forces you to learn. And the fact that you're even like, you know, self-aware enough to realize that, it's a beautiful thing. Okay. So trust yourself. Beating myself up on my improv show. Yeah. Trust yourself. Improv's hard. I think stand-up's way easier than improv. Well, also I like to be on stage by myself. So that's that. But, yeah, improv's hard, but it's fun. So where do you do improv? Tell me. Melissa McCoy says, why and how is Ava still there? Is she the pawn everyone thinks they can go to final 2 with and win? No way. Even against Morgan. I would choose Ava. Ethically, no. Vince or Morgan, just saying. Oh, so okay. So why is Ava still there? Is she the pawn everyone thinks they can go to final 2 with and win? No way. Even against Morgan, I would choose Ava. Ethically, no. Vince or Morgan. So you would choose? Are you saying, maybe I'm just like dumb and I can't read this, but you would choose Ava over Morgan and Vince because of the cheat mans? Is that what you're saying, Melissa? Sorry if I Dallas, fun. Do you know Keanu? Doesn't he do it in Texas? I know Texas is a huge state, and I know he doesn't live in Dallas, so I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. Yep, every failure is a learning experience, brah. Everyone. Good point, Miss Diamond. When you know more, you do better. And the people in the house can also you could have done you could have made the decision to do improv and character as Keanu. That'd be pretty funny. He lives in Dallas. Do you do it with him? Are you in his improv troupe? Hamburger Patty says, I've been to a lot of groundling show. I think everyone knows all improv is like a workshop. It's not a finished project for anyone to judge. Just enjoy it. Yeah. Improv is cool, but it's scary. And it really is all about trusting your instincts and also support from your fellow improvisers. So he's based at a different theater than me. Have you improvised with him on the same show before, Ainsley? I actually think Keanu he must be a pretty good improviser because just him, I'm guessing because he seems like he likes to play. When I watch him on the feeds, he likes to do voices and characters and things. And then also he takes risks and trusts his instincts in those moments when other people are coming at him with rehearsed reads, mainly Jimmy. And Keanu's like, how long did it take you to come up with that? Like Keanu has always, in a lot of those situations, he's done better with his on-the-spot comebacks than these other players with the rehearsed reads. But that could be because he has the improv background and training, and improv really teaches you to trust your instincts and to go with it. Don't doubt that shit. So he's probably really good at improv. Samaria says, hey, do comedy in the Midwest. I'll be back in the Midwest doing comedy probably next year. Definitely I'll be back in Minnesota. Definitely gotta do some stuff. Gotta do some more stand-up shows. John Burrows says, when I do improv, I always decline the premise of others. People love me. I'm sure they do. You deny others' realities. You come out there. Hello, Mr. Johnson. I'm not Mr. Johnson. Okay. Hi, Dad. I'm not your dad. That is the best. That's the best improv is deny. Let's see. Improv is what you try to come up with after Zingbot zings Morgan. Yeah. When Morgan was like a number 1, I was like, oh, Morgan, I'm embarrassed for you. Like, don't.
No.
Don't. I figured you didn't actually do it. Omaha waits. I don't think I've ever done comedy in Omaha. Have I? I don't think so. Omaha, somewhere in middle America. Getting right to the heart of matters. It's the heart that all I can think of is Counting Crows when I think of Omaha. God, August and everything after that album gutted me as a 14-year-old. I was like, this is amazing. Adam Duritz is a genius. I bet Nebraska everywhere needs comedy. Everywhere needs a good comedy show. You've got family in Minneapolis. I'd go see you there. Well, Brianna, I will definitely let you guys know the next time I'm doing any comedy in the Midwest or anywhere near anyone. I'll post about it. So make sure you're following me on Instagram. That's usually the best way for you to find out about my comedy shows. But I often, last year, I did a bunch during Big Brother season. And then I think it was still during Big Brother season. And I posted about it here. But definitely Instagram. Let's see, what else are you guys saying? How about Boston? I love performing in Boston, Mac. I love Boston. Boston has good audiences. I love it. I never performed in Cape Cod, but it's been a long time since I've been to Boston. But I would love to go back. Can anyone tell me what Morgan's zing was? Yeah, it was like, Morgan, what do you call someone who lights up every time Vinny comes in the room, follows him room to room, and has long, passionate hugs with him? And she's like, a number one. His number one. And Zingbot's like, his girlfriend. Zing. Zing. Yes. And Morgan's like Skylar saying, Morgan Zing belonged to Vinny. They should have done it to Vinny. There was no reason, okay, for it to be on Morgan when that is his relationship, his girlfriend he's cheating on. Okay. Steffi says, Jolene, please come to Knoxville. Knoxville, Tennessee. I love Tennessee. And be offensive as all get out. Be no offense, all offense. I do love Tennessee. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've been there. But I love going to the South. I love going to Georgia. I love performing in Atlanta. It's like, it's just, they're just the best crowds. It's like the best people. So yes. Rick, good to see you. My first Jolene live this season. Good to see you, sir. Yeah, ATL has an amazing comedy scene and so many great stand-up comedians. If you are around Atlanta, in Atlanta, near Atlanta, go see a show. Because you don't even have to see like big names. There are so many people just living and performing in Atlanta that are so talented and amazing. Their shows are great. So, I miss Atlanta, Taylor. I would love to go to Atlanta. There's a time I tried to hype my husband, Chella, into moving to Atlanta. We were so close. And then we went there again during like May, June, like that, like swamp ass humidity. And I was like, ooh, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can do this. That is, and add that to perimenopause. I'm already sweating all the time. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know. So, let's talk about this is so off topic, but have you ever eaten at the Hmong Market in Minneapolis? Yes. I believe there's like are you talking about the big food market? I forget what it's called. Is it called the Hmong Market? But I think there's like other types of food in there too. Or am I thinking of a different place? But I grew up in St. Paul, and so we had a lot of Hmong markets, and we had a lot of areas in which, well, they still do, and where you can have all kinds of different food, with from Hmong food to Vietnamese food to, Filipino food to just all kinds of stuff. So I think Iridescent Dragons, I know the place in which you speak, but feel free to correct me. Please, I love Edmonton. Last time I was in Edmonton, I was at the comedy club in the mall there. The giant mall, like the Mall of America. But I forget what you guys call it. But you have a casino in yours, which makes it better than ours in Minnesota. So, Rare Ready Player One says you're thinking a hometown buffet. Oh my God. They got furry bugs that bite? I just remember being there one year, and they did have like big flying, like almost June bug type creatures. They were everywhere, but June bugs don't really bother me. So I'm not like Kelly. I'm not going to bring them in the house and give them a home. But yeah. Okay, let's talk about the BB Unlocked. I thought I did watch the season finale of BB Unlocked, and I will say, here's my hot take. Okay, on BB Unlocked: fire Derek, keep Taylor, bring in Chelsea and Brittany Haynes. You have a 3-lady panel. If they can find a dude that's worthy to sit with them, blessed be. But I thought Chelsea, when she's been doing kind of the draft stuff, I thought she came off more natural and more entertaining than Derek ever has in his life. No offense, all offense to Derek. I know he does the crime stuff and kills it. God bless. But as far as this goes, I feel like Chelsea brought more. I was like, oh, yeah, I would rather watch that. I think Taylor does a good job. And then Brittany Haynes, obviously, in this last episode, giving us the BBs or whatever they called it, like the Emmys, but the BBs. It was just great to see Brittany Haynes. And we need that like snark and that realism. And Brittany's someone, probably one of the few who actually watches some freaking live feeds, actually knows more. Like she goes on RHAP and she actually isn't just with the casual take. Derek just has the casual take. So what's the point of being there? Derek hasn't watched, he doesn't pay attention to the live feeds. It seems like he doesn't care about the live feeds. He's just there hosting the show for casuals. And therefore, his takes are pretty bad, like saying that Keanu has this great influence over Ashley, which I was like, sir.
It's inappropriate.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, his original Karen Reed takes were not great. And he was called out for them, and then he switched. He switcherooed, and he was like, just kidding. But I think if they would replace him with like Chelsea, a newer school winner, keep Taylor, throw in Brittany Haynes for our old school, bring in other players for little segments. I think if they're going to do this BB Unlocked, it can't be every third Tuesday on a full moon when I have my period. It has to be weekly. I would say multiple times a week. Treat it like an after show type thing. Make it fun. Show us shit that we actually want to see. Play it after the episode so people aren't held hostage before the episode. And again, showing us inside looks in the house, stuff that maybe doesn't make the episode edit. And I feel like they did that this week, showing the Kelly Bug stuff. They had a couple other things that they showed that I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. I thought the BB's segment wasn't horrible. And I did think James Gunn was probably, another hot take, the best, the best guest they've had this season. Now, he's definitely a casual, but I feel like he seemed to know a little more than Boston Rob. Jerry O'Connell, more than Jerry O'Connell, the H of H. And definitely more than Lance Bass. So, yeah. Maybe throw Rachel in the mix. Get a panel going. Again, Big Brother production. I know you don't want to put a lot of money into this, but check out, I think it was called, I talk about it all the time, but it was called BB Bots. I don't think UK people, someone asked TV Talks with Tom if they still do this. But I think it was, BB UK. I think the show was BB Bots, and it was hosted by Rylan is his name. And it was actually a show. Yeah, so it was called Bots. And they treated it much like an after show, like a kind of late night show. I know that's scary to say in today's climate, but a late night show for Big Brother. And they had panel discussions
using hugging liberally to patch
and
up
they
a rift,
had like
and then
kind of fun segments, and then evicted house guests would appear on there, and it just felt less overproduced and lame than our shows did. Jay says Big Brother bit on the side. It was so fun, right, Robin? Just when I was able to get a VPN and watch, CBB or just regular people seasons of Big Brother UK. I enjoyed the host, Rylan. I don't know anything more about him. I don't know if he's been canceled since then, so I don't know. but I thought he was very entertaining. I thought the show was good. When they had CBB UK and they would have some of the celebrities come on there after being like evicted, the panels would kind of light up with sometimes fights and drama. It was really interesting. So yeah, I just think that with Derek, it's stale. It just is. Sorry, Daddy Derek. It's stale. I feel like Chelsea could bring it. Brittany obviously brings it. Brittany, we need like the snark and the sarcasm. I love it. She also does her own stuff on Patreon. If you guys aren't subscribed to Brittany Haynes on Patreon, definitely do it. I've been subscribed to her for a while. And she does like episode recaps on Patreon. She was doing some Survivor stuff. She was teaming up with Carolyn from Survivor and Traders, and other people doing little collabs. Definitely worth your money. And she's funny. And she's funny off the cuff. And as long as they let her be herself, she could be fucking great. Okay. Painter Lady said he's doing other shows. They brought in fresh people when they changed from... Okay, so... Oh, Rylan is? Okay, good to know that he still has a good career, because I thought he was a fun host. I liked him. And then how were the other people when they changed? Because I know BBUK has changed channels a few times. But I think there's a new BBUK starting soon. I used to cover BBUK back in the day, Buffet. If you guys have been with me that long, probably Robin C remembers. But I haven't covered it in a while. Okay. Add Angela and Mama Fee. Speaking of Angela and Mama Fee, Queen Angela is returning to talk to me this Monday. Angela Murray, BB superstar, and also on this season of The Amazing Race, will be back this Monday. I think we're going to do 3:30 Pacific, and we're going to talk all about this season. A baby 27, have some laughs, have a good time, you know. So me and Ange will be back, kicking it, ripping on people, having some fun, bullying, if you will. Anyone who does this with their eyes on purpose. She'll be back. I also have another surprise guest I think I'm going to have hopefully this week, if this person can do it. Let's see if they got back to me. Yep. We have another surprise guest that I'll be having this week as well. Okay. All right. Yep. And you know this person from having all it's a good person. It's a good person. It's a very successful person, especially here on the YouTubes. You might follow this person for other news. Let's see if anyone can guess it in the live chat. Other pop culture news. Not a Big Brother player, not even a former Big Brother player, but a pop culture god. All right. Let's see if you guys can get it. Jolene getting busy. It's Jimmy Kimmel. No, I'm just kidding. You know, he was like, I have some time. Adam, are you saying Adam up and Adam? Not up and Adam. He doesn't, as far as I know, he doesn't watch Big Brother. But you're getting warmer. Ryan Bailey. I don't know if he watches Big Brother, but if he did, I would invite him. Soap Dirt? No. Ding, 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 ding. Kempire. The one and only Kempire. Pop culture daddy Kempire himself. If you follow any of the other reality shows, you've probably heard of Kempire. He'll be here and we'll be cutting it up about Big Brother. I'm not sure which day yet, but we'll be doing that. So Angela Murray this week, Kempire this week, and we'll see who else pops up. Not Jax Taylor.
Huh?
No. Where Jax Taylor can go straight to hell with his boner. Okay. Boner. Boner. Do. We can talk to. We haven't talked to Angela since she was recently on the episode for the charcuterie POV. So that'll be fun. So we'll roast up some peeps together and have some fun. So yeah, you guys, That's what we have. Good times coming ahead. Hot eats, cool treats. Very excited about this upcoming week. And also, I believe Steven and I are going to be doing a members only. Stevie Weeby. Lady Gaga, #1 fan. And the #1 fan of our hearts. Or we're a fan of him in our hearts. You know what I'm saying? Mod extraordinaire and couch potato queens extraordinaire and host Steven. We're going to do members only this week as well. So if you're a member here on YouTube, then you will have access to it. And if you are a member on 2 of the paid tiers on Patreon, you also will have access to it. So we got a lot of good stuff coming up. Ms. Katz, thank you so much for becoming a member of the channel. Welcome to the Lean Team. Hopefully you enjoy it. Carissa says, Tom Sandoval, hell to the na. I would never talk to Tom Sandoval. Like, ever. So, yeah. That's what we got going on, you guys. All right. Well, you guys have all been beautiful pumpkin spice babies, and I appreciate each and every one of you for taking your time to spend time with me on this Saturday night as we catch up on what's going on. Obviously, I will be back tomorrow after the episode. Miss Katz, thank you. Oh, no. Davey chewed one of my socks. Davey Wavy Baby. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships to the channel. That was very generous of you, and congrats to those of you who received those. I know YouTube selects them randomly. So thank you for doing that. And Lady Jane, thank you so much. Member for 3 months. I appreciate that. What day and time for the members? I'll let you guys know very soon. I just gotta work with Steven to say, hey, when we doing this damn thing? And as soon as I get that all in a row, hopefully I'll be able to make a little schedule to make it easy for you guys. You know, that's what I say now when I feel, you know, clear-headed and not overwhelmed by ADHD. Thank you, Melissa, for becoming a member. I appreciate that. So hopefully I can get just like a little thing. I'll post it in the community tab of when these things will be. And yeah, so lots to look forward to. Welcome all my new members. Shout out to all my super chatters today. Thank you so much. Mac, Gail Murphy Comedy, Michelle Corley, Kenzie Gray, Christopher Taylor, Michael Murphy, Kelly Kell, Cami Hawkins, Arno Stu 1, Red Like Me, Ainsley, Miss Katz, thank you for being a member and gifting memberships. Lady Jane, thank you. And Melissa McCoy. Don't forget to smash that like on your way out. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hopefully, maybe we can hit 48K this week. Can we? Can we do it? You guys already got me to over 47. So if you haven't subscribed, share me with your friends, family, and enemies, and all of your sock accounts. I would appreciate that very much. And comment after the video posts. Let me know if there's anyone you want me to hit up postseason. Maybe I would hit up someone postseason to talk to and interview. So leave it in the comment section after the video, after the live ends and the video posts, put in the comments and possibly. Okay. So thank you, Renee, for the super chat. Super sticker, I should say. I appreciate that. But until next time, you guys, like I always say, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Good night.
If you like what you see.